Um, Avodah Shebaguf is a very unique program. I became interested in this, but was honestly a little suspicious of what it could be, because I've heard a lot of people advertise programs like this that are supposed to unite body, mind, spirit, and having lived through the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, all these, I've seen so many programs that try to meet all your needs and all your womanly needs, human needs, spiritual needs, physical needs, but most of them really don't succeed. But I have to say, in this case, this is the most successful, unusual program that I have ever experienced. I mean that. And I feel very privileged to have been in the program this year. I wish it would continue. I think everything about it is very interesting and exciting. We have yoga, which is very good for the body, just body building. But along with the yoga that Limor does, also comes movement. And that's also a very hard thing to replicate. I've always wanted to do creative movement, and most people, when they do dance, they do very structured movement. But this is true creative movement, and it also includes the spiritual element, which makes it go with the whole program. So we have movement, we make up our own dances, and now toward the end of the year, we're actually going to make up a personal dance that I'm working on, as well as everybody else. Some of them will be performed, and I was privileged to see last year's program and was amazed at the performances, and I'm sure the same thing will happen this year. At any rate, and then there is Chassidut, which is not just straight Chassidut, but it also involves personal feelings, personal attitudes towards life. And there's always themes. So for instance, one of the big themes this year was for Hanukkah, had to do with home, bayit. And that was a big theme that kind of went through the year, and every holiday had a different theme, so on and so forth. At the end of the year, actually what the teacher, Ruti, did was pulled a whole bunch of themes together with a whole bunch of quotes, and we were to take some of these and make our own little stories out of them, and we just did that, and that was one of the most powerful experiences I've ever had, hearing everybody's stories. As a matter of fact, people want to have copies of everybody's story because they were so special. Some of them ended up being poems. It was very moving. Many people were crying. I totally can't replicate it. I feel so lucky to be in such a group that had such powerful people. But I have to say that one of the reasons the experience was so strong is because of the leadership, because of the way Naahaha organizes the entire thing and the people who work with her. I think one of the important things is that we bring each other food each time. And one of the women was saying to me at the beginning, she said, "This can't work. We're very busy women, maybe once a month, something like that." And Naahaha said, no, you just try it one time, maybe a couple of times, we'll see. And Naaha's like that. You just listen to her, and then sooner or later it just kind of happens. And after a while, we couldn't do otherwise. And as a matter of fact, the food is so good that we're putting together a recipe book this year of all the recipes, because the salads are delicious, the cakes are delicious, sometimes people make their own breads and cheeses even. Anyway, so you can see it's more than just what we learn. It's the group experience, and the same goes for the Nashiyut, which is the women's wisdom, physical, spiritual. We talk about things like Kisui Rosh. sexuality. It's very grounded, but it's also very spiritual at the same time, and very honest. And there again, Daphne is so knowledgeable, and open to any questions that you might want to ask. And honestly, having gone through many things on my own and with my children, I kind of thought I wouldn't really need that, but it's fascinating. It's just fascinating. It's interesting to learn about issues that people have religiously, spiritually, physically, so on, and to share, and maybe to share some of the things I've learned over the years. And the Yemima is fascinating too. This is wisdom and psychology and religion and kind of everything all rolled up into one. And we had a most interesting final project for that, where we had to make a little sticker or a card or something and take a quote from Yemima. And one of the most popular ones seems to be, "Lo tzarich letzadek," you don't have to justify anything that you do. And things that seem obvious, but talk about how you can simplify your life and how you can get rid of all the things that burden you and that stop you from being fully present. So I guess I have to say that I can't possibly summarize what I get from Avodah Shebaguf, but it has helped me to be much more fully who I am, physically, spiritually, to feel more spiritual. The women are all very spiritual. All of them, say that, like when we eat, there's not one that doesn't say motzi or bench, and it's very moving. They don't look Haredi, they don't look, but they take their religion very, very seriously, and that's inspiring to me as well. And I think it has helped me to feel strong about who I am as a person, as a woman in Israel. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, and every other way. And I feel I'm standing stronger because of Avodah Shebaguf.